Alright folks, the deck is all legendary questline priests. The goal of the deck is to see how many people in chat and in the comments we can get to comment, nice budget deck, Roffle. On top of that, we've also got the ability to shuffle additional cards into our deck with Cthulhu the Shattered and Prince Malchezaar to make a nice thick deck that we can then re-roll some of the legendaries with the Golden Monkey courtesy of Elise Starseeker. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/Roffle or here on YouTube. And welcome, Neil. Nice budget, yeah. Yeah, I'll take a nice budget deck in place of the Watch This as well. Again, as long as you get it out of your system early, and we can have a coherent stream without a wall of it. Yeah, welcome, Glenn. Alright, surely this is just the strongest possible deck. I mean, look at how yellow it is.
Watch this.
Hey, thank you, Benno. I will watch this. And I'm waiting.
There's no turning back now.
Your path has brought you here.
Okay, good. Who doesn't want to start off a stream with a Secret Mage, right? Look for a 3-drop. God, look at how fat this deck is.
Ah, I see you've brought guests.
An incredible discovery.
Put Yogg in your deck. Oh, okay. We're just getting all of the horrendously bad memes out of the way. Thank you. I was worried maybe we skipped some.
I'll show them. I'll show them all. Please help me find
Huh? Sure. Kind of rude to be attacking me like that.
I'm late. I'm late.
Speaking of rude, jeez.
We're going on a dangerous voyage. You in?
Raggle Fraggle will slap the dislikes.
It's true, it's true. So instead, you should slap the like button. Thank you, Constance. What a great turn that was. Looks like a chatty.
What's troubling you?
Look, I'm no coward. Imagine playing around counterspell.
Once drafted this exact deck in Arena. Went 0-3, disappointed face.
I'm late. I'm late.
You know, to me, sounds like a skill issue.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Speaking of, I think we're gonna die.
Excuse me, you are on fire. I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Wait, I thought I already checked for counterspell. Wow, the whole thing was a nightmare.
You win.
Tyrande versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine!
Your path has brought you here.
Really don't want to play against Disco Lock, but
I see you've brought guests. The legions I command.
sometimes choice is not mine. Says skill issue, then never coin first. I mean, I still lose the game, you realize, if I had coined first, so what
I
was
was
the
told
point?
by your lawyers that these super chats would save me. Way to let you guys in here, I didn't mean to
Michael, FBI open up.
Donde está la biblioteca?
It's over there. I would, check behind the gato that's in my pantalones.
What's yours will be mine.
Blizzard never learned from their mistakes. They buffed Druid in the mini set. They love Malfurion. Is that why Malfurion has recently been one of the worst classes in the format? In both formats? Smartest chatter of the day.
My blade seeks vengeance.
I don't think now is necessarily an appropriate time to complain about Druid.
If power is what you seek, knowledge is what I provide.
Oh, I guess we lose the game.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
That's too bad.
Tip for chat, if Raffle's lawyers come after you, just throw a bunch of breadcrumbs on the ground and run away. Only thing that saved me.
Wait. Are the pigeons my lawyers now? Is that what's going on?
The Moon Palumpas are on strike, what should I do?
Oh god, I wasn't expecting that. Threaten them with violence.
No, don't. It's still good.
Thank you, Sakai, for the super chat. Oh, do we just die this turn? Bit of a bummer.
Hi Mr. Roffle,
Hi.
your stream has helped and gave me tips to launder money, so here's your share. No need to thank me.
you gotta keep that to yourself. Like, you can't just be openly stating crimes. Especially when they implicate me.
Well met.
Amarin AC became a Tier 1 member.
And thank you, Amarin. And Lonesome Ranger, thank you as well.
Our gift of frost shields us.
I didn't say Druid is good now, I meant the mini set is a buff for Druid. Well, no, you said that Blizzard loves Druid, so why isn't Druid good now if they love it so much? Also, have we even seen the Druid cards yet? What do you want about?
Arcane bolt.
And obey.
I bet you can do this.
Yeah, we really need to nerf Druid. I can't believe how Druid is always so broken. I think they mean Chatty as buffs Druid or something. Okay. The take that you're allowed to have. Maybe the Exodia combo would make sense, but
Tyrande versus Tyrande.
I cannot find eternal rest, and neither will you. Your path has brought you here.
Hey Audible, thank you for all the free ebooks.
hey, you're welcome, Constance. I'm not sure what involvement I had in it, but I hear you.
The legions I command.
I am overwhelmed. Be at peace.
Fantastic. Okay. Please just don't be a boar priest, and this will be fine. Audible taught me how to read. You're welcome. Famous 48 or 45 card West full legendary priest mirror. Hey, we've got 48 cards in our deck. Or the capacity to add that many cards to our deck at least. Look, I get the sense that we're going to have our Reno stuff turned off soon anyway, so. Plus all the shuffling. So let's do this first.
Now I'm addicted to super chats because it paid me.
I think there's a support group for that. I would also check your bank statement.
Surrender your will to command.
Job's done.
No.
Let's negotiate. You can see in my position.
5 mana? Or 2 mana, rather? Do I have any mechs? I do have mechs. I can get me a Zilliax.
Mind if I roll need?
What is real?
Mind if I roll need?
You had your chance.
I'm banking on free super chats.
That's not how banking works. Or how super chats work. Thank you, Constance.
A new acquisition.
position.
Glad to catch the stream, love your content and always entertained. What about Beard Paladin? I kid, you keep doing you, Raffle. Darn autocorrect.
You had an opportunity to... you can edit before you press send. Oh, stupid autocorrect, man. Thank you, Ragnarok and Constance, for the increasing reduction in my sanity.
This deck is legend, wait for it.
We're waiting. Thank you, Kath.
Woe betide those who set themselves against me.
So we pay to chat so that you can have this deck?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, that makes more sense than anything anybody else is saying, so we'll just go with that. Thank you, Daniel.
Mind if I roll knee?
This super chat is brought to you by Audible. Use code CARLY69 to get 0% APR on your next car loan.
Audible's
I'm
doing loans now?
intolerant.
Oh, that's going to be unfortunate for this next one.
For the Alliance!
Dairy. And yes, that was worth 2 super chats.
I mean, as long as you think so. I need to get cards out of hand here, and I don't have a lot of cards that allow me to get cards out of hand, do I? Okay.
Job done.
How close are they here?
Not to backseat game, but nice deck.
I think you would actually have to front seat game to be able to know that. But thank you, Sylph, for the super chat.
The future is clear. Your demise be near.
It's alarming.
I cannot
Job's done.
I can eat their combo with the Brann into Mutanis.
You are safe now.
I taste.
This is not what we stood for.
Can you help? I keep forgetting whose grave it is.
It ain't my grave. But thank you, Ragnarok. And Pear, thank you for the tier 1.
Well met.
Para7 became a tier 1 member.
Appreciate that.
Can I trunk game? I just make worrying sounds.
Yeah, I don't want to get pulled over though. So,
Well met.
Fafino became a tier 2 member.
hey, thank you, Fafino. Appreciate the tier 2. Eat the Mogu, please. That's not it. I appreciate the kind words, Jason.
Rotten to the core. You're hissing.
I don't actually have a way to attack with the, Oh no, I missed the lethal.
I'm 7 moves ahead of
Mutanus 8 Mirage and Emperor.
Predictable.
The storm is coming.
Predictable.
You fight as the ancients did. Your deeds commend you.
The storm
It is finished.
Alright, that's the most ambitious deck I've queued up against in quite a while. Probably should have taken the lethal when I had it, though. That's what a good player would have done. Alright, surely this time it's the mirror match, right?
You give me strength. Your path has brought you here.
What are you gonna do first when the mini set drops? I'll probably be playing Hearthstone.
I see you've brought
That's my plan.
the legions I command.
Oh yeah, time for the Cho show. Could be the Reno version if they're not developing here.
Jade Serpent guide.
Imagine running a deck with spells. Couldn't be me. Leave Cho alone. Oh, okay, well, found out what deck it is. $50-card deck now. There's only 48. Don't need to exaggerate here. It's the point of Harvester. There's only one copier, and Elise is bad because that's your problem with the deck? Is the 2 vanilla statted minions? Just look at the other 30-something cards.
Too much power.
Wow. What
Wow.
a good deck you have.
The better to
This is not
smork you with.
I lost a lot of money on the stock market. Luckily super chats are here to recoup my losses.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll make a variety of very risky bets with the super chat money you just gave me, and lose it again in the stock market. I'll just do whatever everybody else is doing on Wall Street bets. Thank you, Constance and Sika, for the super chats. And thank you to the opponent for making that game end quickly.
Hey Roffle, long time fan. I was the Magoo priest, could draw what I needed, but GG.
Wow. Texas Speech Man saying GG sounds funny. But thank you for the super chat, Jake, and that was a fun game. Sorry to bully you there with the Mutanus, but it's the first fun matchup, the first and only fun matchup I've had all day. So congratulations.
Versus Valera.
Hard to lose right now in the market, TBH. Just,
Brought you here.
that doesn't seem at all true. What? Maybe that was true like for the past decade or so, but that's very, very, very clearly not the case anymore. Incoming TTS GG spam? Yeah, I should be more careful about about the words that I say. Just buy low, sell high, easy. Don't see why it's so hard. Oh, that's true. You make a good argument. I don't know why I didn't just think of that to begin with.
Never bring a sword to a fish fight.
So here's the thing. We're terrible into aggro. So.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
So super chats are there to pay the actors you find on ladder.
I mean, in the minds of some people, I'm sure that's the case. But thank you, Mop, or Topek, for the super chat. I mean, again, still more coherent than many of the messages that I receive in super chat, so I'll take it. And more coherent than some of the YouTube comments I get about the paid actors that I'm playing against. At least you can deal with the 1 health minions for now? Yeah, the concern was if they had Captain, I was gonna get boned. I'm also just gonna get boned by the sword. Ouch. Did they attack with this one? I wasn't paying attention, I was reading that. A mistake for a variety of reasons, if we're being honest. Hey you, why act or not? My god. Well look, I took lessons from Darman,
Illuminati? Small red triangle, warning sign, red triangle, rice ball.
Really makes you think, doesn't it?
I'm 7 moves ahead of you. Arcane bolt. Blood and plunder. Predictable.
Cool. They could have another one just queued up from the swordfish.
Trust the pirate's code.
Look! You shinies! It's up to me then! Not impressed.
Hear and obey.
Not impressed.
Arcane bolt.
dead to Fillet Fighter, another Deckhand, Prize Plunderer. Nice cards. Would you delete a class in Hearthstone if you could? If so, which one? I would not.
The pirate's code.
Would not consider that. I think each class in Hearthstone plays an important role and has a variety of different archetypes within it, so like calls to delete an entire class of Hearthstone just limits the game and seems silly to me. And childish. Oh, unfortunately we're at the rank where it's all pirate rogues.
Your path has brought you here.
Yeah, but priest though, yeah, thanks for thanks for literally proving my point when we're playing this silliness. So, congratulations, you've done it.
I see you've brought guests.
To go back in time and delete Monk from the game, such a toxic class. I think you need to go in the other direction, don't you?
If you dishonor me,
You're welcome, Buggy Man.
yourself.
Roffle, do you have a favorite wild meta?
Not really, no. I think a lot of times there's a tendency for people to look back to, like, look at the current metagame with disdain and look back on previous metagames with, like, unjustified fondness. A good example of this is everybody seems to agree that, like, Journey to Angoro was the best Hearthstone, this one metagame, and but like it was just full with a bunch of quest rogues and decks that beat quest rogue, and that was the metagame. So I feel like people don't really remember it accurately.
Job done.
Okay, that was actually a pretty good set of steals. So I don't know, like I don't remember most metagames that accurately enough to give a full assessment. I just know that in the moment I try to my best to enjoy whatever metagame we have, which right now it's difficult to do.
Blood and plunder.
Hatches in hand means victory? If only that were true. Why does the opponent have a 7/5 in their deck? Well, they don't. That's how I knew it was the plunderer. Miss the time where I win and my opponent loses. I think that's actually just really how people evaluate metagames in Hearthstone. I don't think you're that far off, to be honest with you.
Aldamon release was my peak Hearthstone.
Yeah, it's not to say that, like, well, thank you, Bafino, for the super chat. It's not to say that, like, you're wrong to have an opinion about what the favorite metagame is.
High angle, do you have a favorite geometric shape?
Rectangle, but spelled with a W. Thank you, Constance. It's just that, like, I think people overestimate their ability to adequately remember the metagames and how they played out. I lose.
It is finished. You win.
Yeah, Reno would have been helpful there, but like we can't reliably expect any singular card in our deck just because there's so many cards in our deck. Rectangle, yeah, Rixar got it. Any metagame I'm misremembering is just the Mandela effect. I think you mean the Morgan Freeman effect.
Versus Lady Vash.
10,000 years, and still you annoy me.
Your path has brought you here.
Alright, we'll just keep the Reno this time. Shudderwalk, maybe?
We have turned our curse into our strength.
Well, this is your daily reminder that I hate playing against Even Shaman.
Legions I command.
Finished. You win.
For the love of God, please do something about the bots.
Versus Lady.
Alright, we're at the bot rank, I guess.
10,000 years, and still you annoy me.
Your path has brought you here.
I see you've brought gale. The legions I command.
Down. At least it's not Even Shaman for once. Botting is such a frustration. Any suggestion on how to climb against them? I mean, beating them is not a problem. It's just obnoxious that, like, they make such blatantly horrendous misplays. So it's just not fun to play against them. It's not fun content to play against them.
Gift of the arcane enlightens us.
What do you think about adding Death Knight and Demon Hunter Reno deck support? I think maybe someday. Like, there's always the possibility of that. Doesn't need to happen now just because I currently don't have any support. Like, Rogue doesn't have any Highlander support. Not a mandatory part of the game.
You have Kakarafiophobia?
I'll ask you to watch your language. This is a family-friendly stream.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
Thank you, Constance, for the super chat. And also, yes, probably. Any thoughts on the leak cards for the upcoming mini set? Yes, my thoughts are that, like, revealed cards are not leaks.
It is finished. You win.
And if there are any leaks, I have not seen them, and I would ask that you don't share them. You ever play Standard? No. Not for a long time. Or ever, really. Alright, please be an actual human. I think this is 3 straight bots, or was 3 straight bots.
Your path has brought you here.
It's a concede deck. There we go. There's the trifecta of dumb, or constantly repeated chat memes. We've done it. Oh, I was worried we wouldn't get to that one. We've done budget deck. We've done add Yogg. Finally get that one out of the way.
I see you've brought. We have turned our curse into our strength. The legions I command.
Okay, Kazakus could help me clear a board. Yeah, welcome, Gabriel. Yeah, we should start just making bingo cards for all the jokes that chat makes.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
Oh God.
Hey Babble, do you have a favorite chat meta?
I don't think so. I do like the one where you get my name wrong constantly. That makes me laugh. Oh God, we've already lost.
I came to bargain, but you already gave me money.
Doctor Strange, is that you? Thank you, Gabriel, for the super chat.
You forgot. Card draw. Don't worry, I've got you.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I did leave one off. Thank you. But to be fair, that's only because I haven't gotten down to a low number of cards because this deck is so nonsensical.
I cannot do that.
Job done.
It is finished. You win.
Oh, now we're getting the Boulder Fist Ogre. I forgot that there were some more. I mean, that's essentially the same as the Yogg meme. Just, slightly different flavor, I guess.
Tyrande versus Jaina.
You asked for it. Your path has brought you here.
This deck has won one game so far. If you came here expecting to see a 48 legendary deck win games of Hearthstone, or saw the 48 card deck and were expecting it to win games of Hearthstone at a high rate,
The legions I command.
I don't know what to do for you. The entire point of the deck is that it's bad.
Nice budget deck.
Thank you. Thank you for helping fund it.
An incredible discovery!
If you dishonor me, you dishonor yourself.
Wow. I
Wow.
can see how much my donation is worth. It seems my country's economy is poop. Anyway, how are you doing? Text to speech. I'm doing fine, thanks.
Okay, now you just have conversation with yourself, text-to-speech, man. Thank you, Gabriel, for the super chat. I just really shouldn't have hit Diamond 5 this early in the season. Oh, this is fantastic for my deck.
At last, a worthy disciple.
I haven't even had 2 minions die yet. I was just desperately looking for the 4 AoE there. Holmes did not count towards quest, I don't believe. No, because he didn't actually get played.
Serve or die. What's yours will be mine. Time. Job done.
Soft taunt on that bad boy.
Your signature is required. Your signature is required.
Rip.
Serve.
Hi, Roffle. I've been laughing a lot with the super chat meta. Thanks for your awesome work.
Hey, thank you, Hugo. Glad you're enjoying it, and thank you for the super chat.
Job done.
Oh.
Always make food, never eat food.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
I'm late. I'm late.
Oh god, they have duplicate in their deck? What are you doing? That's unfortunate for me. So we're all in agreement that you're holding the Purifying Shard so that you can summon a 10-drop with King Feor's, because we all know what the game is. Okay, I'm glad I read all the way through that message, because I was about to make the same point that you eventually arrived at.
I'm late. I'm late. An incredible discovery.
Phenomenal order.
It'll be our little secret.
It is finished.
Hey, Roffle.
Hey.
It's text-to-speech guy here.
How's it going?
Our relationship goes a long way and you still treat me like trash. How about giving me a decent name? Wow.
Wow. You have a name. I didn't give it to you. It's not my responsibility to name you. I didn't create you. But text-to-speech man's name is, in fact, Brian. And back to the robots.
Watch your back. Your path has brought you here.
I see you've brought gale. The legions I command.
Wait, what?
Didn't create me, but you did enslave me.
Whoa, whoa. Enslave is not the word for it. I pay you a fair market rate.
Hey, Brian, for letting me know my name.
Brian, I think you forgot some of the words in that message, but thank you, Gabriel and Benno, for the super chats. Okay, I was lucky.
Brian? Is that really their name? Brian?
Could be any of these two. I think it's Pufferfist. Oh my god. I'm the greatest. Why did Brian forget to read a few words? I think he is just overcome with emotion upon discovering his name.
Does the Roffle rabble get to raffle Roffle?
You're gonna raffle me? Why don't you raffle these nuts instead? Got him. So we go Sunwell into Plunderer and trade there. Healing? It's kind of like healing.
Give me that.
4 cost, but I probably don't want to do that next turn because that will overdraw me.
Briarian and Truffle, the best gamers ever seen.
Who? Thank you, Jordan, for the super chat, as well as Gabriel again. I mean, they had the Puffer Fist in deck, right? Hopefully it remains there. Right?
Give me that. Look what I want. Pirates away! Pirates away!
Jeez. Wait, that's the first pirate they've played?
Hey Robble, Brian here.
Hey,
Do
Brian.
I have a mouth? I feel I must scream.
Same. Same.
The raffle for D's Nuts starts with a $2 buy-in.
That's coming in kind of low, isn't it?
Well met.
David just became a tier 1 member.
Hey, thank you, David. And Kali and Constance, thank you as well. This does 4. I could go here. Blow up all of those, and then trade. To deny that. Alright, I do have the Heart of Cthulhu next turn as well. This seems like it could be beneficial at some point too. It's kind of in an okay spot. Well, and then that happened. Wish my Pirate Rogue opponents were this bad. I mean, they haven't made any misplays, though. They've just... Other than maybe, like, not attacking into Murloc Holmes with a weapon that turn. But, like, most of their plays... The deck plays itself. I don't think anything that they've done has been all that out of line. Use Zeph for a Acidic Swamp Ooze next turn. They're gonna probably reset the weapon. Not drawing better cards is a misplay? Yeah, like I don't understand what the supposed mistake has been. Also forgot to attack with the 2/1 Charge Pirate, did they? I don't remember that, but I wasn't paying that close of attention to be honest, so. I would rather now, I think, see them play minions here so that I just clear the board. Unlucky. I mean, I don't really have a choice here. I think I have to clear this board.
Your wish is my suggestion.
At least we're not overloading. Forgot about multi-shot as a card. And then what we want to do is trade this off into something next turn and then play the Shadow Waltz.
Job's done.
We are exactly dead to Mr. Smite, but can't really do anything about that.
ever bring a sword to a fish fight. Put your dukes up, small fry.
Oh.
My hand is full.
All right. Great.
I'm the scat man. Ski by Diddy Divio the Dub Dub.
You certainly are. Thank you, Ricky.
The name's Brian, Brian name. The Brian names the Brian names. The brains. Brian's having a stronk. Call a Brian Lance. Cough cough, I think I'm fine now.
Happy to hear that, Brian. Grateful for your speedy recovery. Would have trade into Zephrys better because it keeps your minions safe? I mean, they set me to 4, right? That seems like an important breakpoint to hit with the 4 attack weapon equipped, you know? So,
Feed the fish, landlubber.
I think it was reasonable.
Blood and plunder.
I found Wonder sending you money. Thanks, Noffles.
Hey, you're welcome. Always happy to help. I don't know what any of those words you just said mean, but you did it.
What knowledge do the stars provide?
Still dead.
It is finished. You win.
You're welcome, Luke.
Hey Knuckles, what's your favorite Sonic character?
I mean Knuckles. Me. Thank you, Constance. Because he's clearly the best character. Ugh, we're just playing against 3 decks and nothing else. It gives me money, but thank you, Ovino. Appreciate the support. So I think so far we've faced a total, aside from that Mogu Priest, a total of 4 decks. It's all been Even Shaman, Secret Mage, Pirate Rogue, and then we had 1 Murloc Shaman as well. The Flay Fighter Zeph, so Pufferfist clears. I still think setting to 4 makes sense to me, because then they... Well, I guess not with the hero power heal. But.
I see you've brought gale. The legions I command. I see you've brought gale.
Okay, maybe it's not Secret Mage by some miracle. You're welcome, Ball. Oh, thank God. Oh, finally, we can have some fun again.
I liked this video and won the lotto. Try it.
Look, everybody knows that correlation equals causation, so if you like the video, you're bound to win the lottery.
It's Knuckles, it's Knuckles.
Jeez. Thank you, Constance. And Eric. Appreciate that. Hey Roffle, I'm missing 26 of the legendaries in your list. Any replacements? Yeah, I'll tell you the same thing I've told the like 350,000 other people that have asked. Just go with Boulder Fist Ogres.
Do you have the artifact? Amazing.
Death does not scare me.
Fantastic. What a great opponent. Everybody give a round of applause to this opponent, because they're truly a Giga Chad. Doesn't Elise make no sense in this deck? Literally the entire deck doesn't make sense, so it's on
I
theme.
think I just won $1.99 in the Roff Lotto. Yippee.
I mean, clearly you like the stream, is what I'm getting from that, so thank you.
We're gonna have some fun.
Has anyone done the budget thing yet? So many times, yeah.
All upon us.
There is no light, only power.
Tough choice here.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Thank you so much for all the amazing content.
Hey, you're welcome, Bobby. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate that support. Expedite that bingo card for the next stream? Yeah. I think we have many people with Blackout already.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
It's Brian.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Sorry for everything I said about you and for spreading misinformation about free super chats. Please let me in. I can change.
Look, the damage is already done, Brian. I don't even know if that's really your name anymore at this point.
Drown in shadow.
Oof.
What was that?
What was that? Hey, Roffle, I tingle whenever I see you upload. Should I see a doctor about that? Yes, ideally a psychiatrist. Rude. No Lorewalker Cho SMH my head. Why would you spread misinformation like that? We've already got Brian doing so, now you're joining in?
What is Elune's will?
Muffle is causing blackouts? Or is Brian to blame?
Look, I feel like we've maybe spent enough time blaming Brian for one day, but yeah, absolutely, it's his fault.
Green as a carpet.
It's the second time this week I've been hit by a steam cleaner, and it was actually good. Thanks for thinning my deck, I guess. I'm glad that happened before the ambassador. Oh, God.
Our gift of fire empowers us. Bolt your history.
Hey Tingle, I Roffle every time I see you upload.
See, that's working as intended. You're fine. No notes. Thank you, Ron.
Hey Boggle, it's me, Brian's cousin, Neb. I promise I am very good at telling the truth and properly taking money from chat. Please let me in.
Look, I don't believe you. You look and sound awfully similar to Brian. He was a notorious liar. I have at many times seen his pants on fire.
Who knows what secrets will uncover? Our gift of fire.
Look, normally I probably would have extended this game out, but first of all, I've been losing a lot. Second of all, they steam cleanered my Malchezaar. So, how dare they?
Roffle, if I had a coin for every time someone hit me with a steam cleaner and it was actually good, I'd have 2 coins. Which isn't much. But it's weird it happened twice.
I agree, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Thank you, Spectre, for the super chat.
Love the content. You've inspired me to start building questionable decks of my own again, starting with old dumb Quest Hunter. You will regret this.
I think it's you that will end up regretting it, but thank you for the kind words, Logan, and I appreciate the support.
For Doomhammer.
Your path has brought
I
you.
apologize to your wallet in advance. Both for the super chat and for the inspiration for bad decks. Alright, back to the even shamans. You're welcome, McGrath.
We have turned our curse into our
Ah, I see you've brought gale. The legions I command.
Lazul into Steam Cleaner, then play the Harvester of Envy to steal theirs. Well, here's the thing. Like, somebody already said the Harvester of Envy was pointless and had no purpose in this deck, so that's impossible. Okay. Not playing against robots today.
You win.
Yeah, it should be only the first and last horseman. That can be silenced. Like the one that shuffles and then the one that triggers the actual, like, end of game effect. Oh my god, it's a warrior.
Renathal.
Furbius, Finn, I know what we're going to do today.
Yeah, the same thing we do every day, Brian.
Has brought
Brain.
you here.
Pinky. Nailed it. How can you tell just from that they were a bot? Well, because they pressed the totem and then immediately played a Totemic Might. That no human would ever, like, even consider that play. Horseman will be nutty with Shaman? Shaman seems so bad with the Horseman that I didn't even consider that as an option. Like, there are at least 3 other classes that I'm considering before. Well before Shaman. Has the bot issue really been that bad? It's been a moment since I've been on ladder. It's gotten much worse, especially at these ranks. Like, yesterday, in particular, I think almost half of my games were against, like, just Pirate Road bots. Do you like Flark's Boomzuka with the Horseman? I do. That is one of the first things I'm intending to do. That's probably the least, one of the least reliable ones, though, of the 3 that I'm considering. to start softening that up. I think Rogue would have the best chance with Stowaway and Anka.
My heart is heavy, my spirit low. Oh,
That's way too much setup.
won't you let me in? I implore a place to rest, a warm fire to bask. Your hospitality, I humbly ask.
Look, Brian, you do not have a corporeal form. You do not need sleep. You do not need to come in. We've been through this so many times. Wait, this actually wasn't the card that I wanted to play here. Thank you, Gabriel, for the super chat. He's a vampire Roffle? Oh my god, you're right. Now I really can't let him in.
Unity, precision, unity. Fly, Polly.
Hey, welcome, Jason.
We're gonna need more gunpowder.
I hate you. Perfect. Oh wait, that's not as good as I hoped, because it only goes off once.
I had to kill all the moon Palumpas. Send more.
I don't know that we have more. That was it. I said threat of violence, not actual violence.
I'm a cyber vampire born of the cloud, here to suck your data and crypto from your very hard drive.
Here to do what now?
Let me in and I shall show you an end to mortality.
Suck my what now? Thank you, Kali and Sika for the super chats. My god, those are perfect cannon shots, aren't they? Alright, Reno off the top every time. Except for this time.
It is finished. You win.
I made a Raid the Sky Temple Mage deck with 2 Yogs and it unironically does really well into Pirate Rogue. Thank you for the inspiration.
Hey, you're welcome, Digital Butterfly. Glad you're finding a way to have some fun.
Tyrande versus Garona.
Back to the bots.
I'll leave no trace of this.
Your path has brought you here.
Are you sure Reno is in the deck? Yes, we've seen him, but never in situations where we need him. Again, we have a lot of cards in our deck, so... It becomes difficult to find any singular card.
The legions I command.
Roffle's done with super chat jokes. No more laugher, no more folks. New adventures await ahead. Jokes aside, let's move ahead. Made my Brian.
Hey, thank you for that beautiful, beautiful poem, Brian.
I cannot do
It made my Brian hurt.
Roffle, please, I know you're in there. People are asking where you've been. They say have courage, and I'm trying to. I'm right out here for you. Just let me in.
I know that trick, Brian. Won't be fooled again. But thank you, Constance, for the super chat, and Gabriel.
Blood and plunder.
My blade seeks vengeance. I hear and obey.
Give me that.
Not what
Pizza
I
delivery here. Just
Oh,
open
hey.
the door and let me in for some tasty pepperonis and mozzarella.
That does sound
No
good.
garlic bread, though.
Wait a minute.
Never bring a sword.
That seems highly suspicious. Brian, is that you again?
Share your thoughts with the class now.
I don't even know what card I meant to get here.
Job's done.
Well, at least we confirmed that we have Reno in the deck.
It is finished. You win.
Thank you, Collie, for the super chat, if I missed that.
Simon says, me gustan las quesadillas.
Thank you, Hugo, for the super chat. Who doesn't love quesadillas? Oh my god.
Versus Valera.
Why?
Shall we dance? Your path has brought you here.
Honey bots. Roffle, would you say this is the worst deck you've played? No, it is very, very, very far from that. It's not even the worst deck I've played this week.
Ah, I see you've brought gale. The legions I command.
Jade Serpent guide you.
It's the worst one, the legendary Odd Warlock. Nope.
Pirates away!
Hi Roffle, how do I super chat?
Good question. Unfortunately, there's no way to ever find out, so... As much as I wish I could help you, you're never going to be able to super chat, but thank you, Ivar, for the super chat. Seems like a card that they would keep. Patch is not in deck, that's in hand, so it's most likely to be Buck. God, I'm like...
Did you know, in Russian is pronounced Naya?
I did not know that. So thank you for the information, Constance. I think I'm almost 100% on my... Holmes hits. In this matchup in particular.
My blade seeks vengeance.
I cannot.
Wait, are we actually doing this?
Feed the fish, landlubber. Careful, they're sharp.
Unity, precision, primitive.
Still do need to find a Reno.
Blood and plunder.
They needed that exact thing not to happen. Welcome, Shader Yama. Oh my god. It'd also been nice if that didn't happen.
Look, you shinies. Strength withers, and cool survive. Feed the fish, landlubber.
Still dead.
It is finished. You win.
Alright, please just let me play against a human at this point. Like, is that too much to ask for?
Tyrande versus Medivh.
Well, this is probably a human. I should be careful what I wish for.
Your path has brought you here.
The Secret Mage is still miserable. Maybe it'll be another fun mage, right?
The legions I command.
Ah, I see you've brought guests.
Please, please don't be Secret Mage. One time. For the second time. Been away for a while. I thought bots were usually spamming Odd Warrior. Nope. They quickly changed that so that, like, you don't get rewarded for dragging out game length. Why are... You have two of those? My god. Lose enough and everyone is playing fun things. That's not how it works, but good suggestion. I'm not... Again, rating and ranking are two different things. At present, I am queuing based on rank, so my MMR rating does not matter.
I'm late. I'm late.
This is a human player? Yes. And they drew the nuts.
An incredible discovery.
Fun mage is an oxymoron in this meta. I mean, the point was that it would be off meta. For the hope.
Do you have the artifact?
But again, why we don't need to paint.
Brian waits, heart heavy and sore. Roffle, please, open the door. A haven, a home, is all he desires. Oh Roffle, have mercy, light his soul's fires.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Gabriel. But no. Sorry, Brian, you have to wait outside still.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
They have a secret in hand. So, this has to be the play here. Just to see how dead I am. How does the bot know which card to play? It reads the game files. Same way that Firestone knows what cards are drawn. Someday, I hope Secret Mage refers to a deck with Glacial Mysteries. I would not count on that.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Roffle, can you win with only legendary cards?
That's what I'm trying to see. So far, the answer is sometimes. Rarely.
Hi Waffle, it's me back again with another cool deck idea.
Fantastic.
35 legendary Renathal Cthulhu Priest / wait, what the hell?
Thank you, Mason.
Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Velociraptor.
Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful poetry, Colin. Oh my god, it is the first Death Knight in an hour and a half. Fantastic. Finally, 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 we get to play against some variety. Now that said, it's still like a very strong deck and will probably beat me, but at least we get variety.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
I see you've brought gale. The legions I command.
So likely I'm going to want to hold the Zeph in this game, just because I don't have like board clears.
The fallen will serve.
The future is clear. Your
Plague Strike. Oh. That's a very good hit. Alright so far. I could get a Zeph into Lightning Storm next turn. Looks like I will be a Zeph into Lightning Storm. not. Oh, they didn't trade. Okay.
Roffle's heart, cold as stone. No love, warmth, all alone. Roffle's heart, cold as ice. No warmth, no love, are a hefty price. Let Brian in, please.
Brian! Get out of here, man! I'm not gonna let you in. Thank you, Gabriel. No thank you. I think I probably do need to clear this board just because of Grave Strength is no concern.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Shadow Flame, maybe?
Shining, slyly spryly trist by my crypt.
You said it. Thank you, Constant. Deck could use some spells. It has some. Look, it has another one now. Alright, Grave Strength is live, and we're just dead to it, so pray they don't have it. They have it. GG.
Once upon an afternoon dreary, Roffle streamed weak and weary. His thoughts to decks of yore when there came a tapping on his office door.
Oh dear God. Suddenly Edgar Allan Poe has entered chat.
Has brought you here.
Thank you, Kali, for the super chat. Ugh. This is unfortunately not a very fun metagame at the moment.
The legions I command.
Really hoping the mini set shakes things up.
I see you've brought guests.
Mind if I roll me?
Oh. Hey. That's unexpected.
Welcome, my devoted chosen.
Be at
Is it
peace.
Mechathune? But like,
I hope you like my invention.
why are you running this? Or is it just a really strangely built Disco Luck? Warlock a fun matchup. Nope. Often it's Disco, and I have no chance at winning.
I'm 7 moves ahead of you.
Have you played a CRWTH in a coom before?
Predictable.
That's a very personal question. Highly inappropriate. I don't actually know what you're trying to ask me though, Constance, but thank you for the super chat.
Not impressed.
Break your body.
Easiest call to the stand of my life. Oof.
Haven't heard of me? You will.
My hand is full.
Imagine playing a 4-mana assassinate when it can spend all my mana instead. Powerful plays being made by both gamers here.
This is not what we stood for.
Look at that heal for 14.
Someone's knocking on the door, somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door and let them in bonus points if you know the song reference.
I do not, but thank you for the super chat, sidekick.
We've been trying to reach you about your Yogg's extended warranty.
Yeah, and I've been ignoring you.
What
but thank you,
is
Xander.
Will?
I only get one dragon here, but it's probably
Life
worth.
and hope are worth fighting
Get me potential lethal with Zeph. What? Where are they drawing toward? I've got 14, 22, not quite lethal.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Until next turn. Okay, whatever card we get here, we're throwing away because burn it anyway. You can't oil with no weapons? No. Good choice. Little Orca man. We shouldn't be able to die here. Right? So, hopefully we can still make the opponent die. I think it was lethal with the rogue card. But like, we just went through the fact that I can't play this card though. Oh, that's the combo.
Done, Cretan.
Your deeds commend you.
Good thing we shuffled all those cards into our deck, right?
Life at any cost.
Easy. Why didn't Zeph suggest the Battlemaster card that gives adjacent minions win fear? Because that is not a card that is available to him. First dub of the day? Yeah, if you ignore all the other wins that happened.
Tyrande versus Maiev.
You didn't see anything.
Your path has brought you here.
Keep the Kazakus. Otherwise, not a great hand, though.
Hey Strangle, what's your opinion on chat?
I mean, you said it already.
The legions I command. I see.
Thank you, Constance. One day you'll get my name right.
Never bring a sword to a fish fight. Look, you shinies.
You do love playing about 40% of my games against the same deck every day. Don't be so focused on the past, Roffle. Treat every victory like it was both your first and your last. I mean, chat already does that for me, so it's easy. But then again, chat hasn't like developed object permanence yet, so I guess it's more understandable that they would respond to such. Any chance you've gotten a shard win with this deck? No, absolutely not. First of all, shard wins don't happen in normal situations. Second of all, I shuffled in a lot of cards into my deck, and it makes it nearly impossible for that ever to be a reasonable win condition to expect. Like, that's just not realistic.
Feed the fish, lover.
I just need the perfect potion, it's simple.
At last, a worthy disciple.
Off to a bad start. Surely they'll get me Reno though, right? AoE plus 3 damage, that's what we were going for, but unfortunately we got none of those things. So, just neither of those even showed up. Oh my god. At this point, like, even Reno is not going to be a game-winning play.
Man, I feel bad if I keep accidentally queuing into you. Chat will think I'm paid to throw.
Wait, was that you last time, Jake? I trust it's not you now. Because no one would, like, actually admit to, playing as Pirate Rogue, right?
What is Elun's will?
What knowledge do the stars provide?
If only Hunger Crab was legendary like it is in my list. Why would... Hunger Crab wouldn't do anything here, though. There's no Murlocs on the board.
Have you tried putting a bar over eyes to hide?
Yeah, but, like, I swung it too hard and, knocked myself out. Oh, it was Tog Warlock. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. We were trying to figure it out. GG then. Reno? Oh, of course not.
My blade seeks vengeance. I hear and obey.
I must know more.
It is finished.
Welcome, Bernardo. Human, please. Nope.
Versus Lady Vash.
No humans at this rank.
10,000 years, and still you annoy me.
Your path has brought you here.
Play another deck. No. What if I don't want to? Have you considered that?
Roffle, thy loss is great. Brian waits at thy gate. Enter he, thou shall see. Victory theirs, for all to be. That's my last Brian poem for today.
Well, thank you, Gabriel. I'm very proud of your work, as is chat. That's bad for me.
Why did Ghastly Gravedigger skip the party? Ain't my rave.
Ain't my rave. Thank you, Sylph.
My day was so awful, then I turned on some Roffle. Now I've got a smile so jawful it should be unlawful. From Bizarre O'Brien.
Bars. Thank you, Brian.
Man, this Monty Python movie is weird.
That's what I've been saying. Thank you, Constance. And, Dylan.
What's yours will be mine.
Why don't Murloc Shaman run the quest? Because you don't want to pass on turn 1 in an aggro deck, nor do you get much benefit from it. Ever. In a deck like Murloc Shaman. And you lose a card in your opening hand. Essentially because it's a very, 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 very bad card. Angler is doing work. Maybe the Mido will save me. Like, I've got a decent amount of healing in the upcoming turns, but like if they have everything or even the 3-mana spell, I'm kind of gonna die. Yeah, that one.
Ravioli, ravioli. Let Brian in and you're to win.
Hey, as long as there's plenty of garlic on the ravioli, just to be safe. Appreciate that, Gabriel. Wait, why that raid? They're not even gonna have time to make the attack. What are they doing? Literally does not matter, though.
You win.
Mobile player, I think it was another robot. I don't know why the population of bots has just like skyrocketed of late, but it really seems to be the case. Please give me a human.
Your path has brought you here.
The legions I command. I see you've brought guests.
I was gonna say bots are here because aggro meta, but when has wild not been aggro? I mean, at a variety of different points.
Be at peace.
Never bring a sword to a fish fight.
Oh, so predictable. Every single game is exactly the same.
Well met.
Nameless Faceless became a tier 2 member.
Kath, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Really appreciate that.
Well met.
Nameless Faceless became a tier 2 member.
And Nameless Faceless, thank you for the tier 2. It seems unrelated.
Well met.
Curran German became a tier 2 member.
Let's go here.
Well met.
Alessandro Bernardini became a
Well met.
Marcus Yang became a tier.
Well met.
HN became a tier 2 member.
Well met.
HN became a tier 2 member.
Why is it doing... Why is it... What's going on with the... Thank you again, Kath. Sorry, the alerts were weird.
Well met.
Marcus Yang became a tier 2 member.
I think you already said that, buddy.
Well met.
Alessandro Bernardini became a tier 2 member. Hey, Roffle.
Hey!
I'm employed again, so
Congrats.
have this super chat with love. If only I knew they were free before, I would have sent you a lot more.
If only.
I heard YouTube pays me back the double. Is it true?
Definitely not, no. No, YouTube doesn't even pay me the double. But thank you, Tulio, for the super chat. Congrats on the new job.
Give me that. Not what I want.
Hey, this opponent actually appears to be
Never
human,
bring a sword to a fish fight.
which is unfortunate because the deck performs quite a bit better when the human is driving it. And I'm dead.
It is finished. You win.
Another legendary deck from Legend Offal.
Thank you, Zachariah. Certainly is legendary. Why is every opponent of Roffle aggro Pyro Rogue? Because that is literally just the metagame, that's the only deck that exists at this rank band, apparently. I'm just gonna start conceding to it. I cannot keep doing this. It is just so miserable. Because, like, 90% of them appear to be robots that make just egregious misplays. And nearly half of my games are, like, I would just like to play against a human.
I cloned more Moon Palumpus. Hope these don't rebel.
Me too. I wouldn't want you to have to go through that again. Thank you, Sika. Oh, okay, good. Well, it's a human again.
You asked for it. Your path has brought you
God. I just want new cards so that I can complain about nobody playing new cards instead of all the robots. If you climb real fast to Legend with a good deck and play meme decks at that rank. Nope. What happens is that I inevitably start queuing into people at this rank anyway, or lower, and then people complain about the fact because they don't understand how matchmaking works once you hit Legend. So I'm just intending not to hit Legend at all this season because a variety of factors made it horrendously miserable for me last season. In particular, all of the viewers screeching about queuing against silver players when I played against diamond players at Legend.
It'll be our little secret.
Did you hear of tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No, that's not a story a Jedi would be told. Thank you, Constance. Oh, I hit the nuts.
If I do this, I will get back €4. Thanks, I am broke.
Hey, if you're broke, you should not be giving me free money in Super Chats. But thank you, Carpel.
Does your car go like BR or Vivi?
A combination of the two, depending on how fast I'm going. It really confuses people when I pass by them.
You're not ready for this.
No playable cards, unfortunately.
Your signature is required. Your signature is required.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
It is finished. You win.
I should have just stayed at Diamond 10 longer, but like it's really, really hard to lose that many games. Yes, I have won games with this deck. Asking the question, have you won a game is such a tilting question to ask, my god.
Wisdom shall bring victory.
Your path has brought you here.
Pretend you're human, chat. Alright, surely this won't be a big priest, right? Oh, thank God. Renathal?
I see you've brought guests. The legions I command.
Oh, that's bad.
Come, pray with me.
Sure.
If you dishonor me, you dishonor yourself.
Hello Roffle, this is text-to-speech man. I'm kind of getting sick of reading these free super chat memes. Vacation when?
Look, if I can't take a vacation, you can't. You just gotta suck it up, Brian.
Too much power.
Thank you, Martin, for the super chat. Oh good, we've got gun.
Are we human? Or are we dancer?
Truly, life's greatest mysteries. Thank you, Pika. Just what we needed.
I'm 7 moves ahead of you.
I'm only human, and I bleed when I fall down.
Well, don't trip then.
It is finished. You win.
Thank you, Constance. Oh. It feels like maybe once every hour we get a matchup that isn't just completely miserable. That's a pretty good rate. Unfortunately, this is not the one.
Fear the coming storm.
Your path has brought you here.
My sign is vital, my hands are cold.
Arms are weak, mom's spaghetti. Thank you, Sequence.
I see you've brought
I think I nailed that. Please just be Shutterwalk for once. Maybe.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
We're just alternating between humans playing meta decks and bots playing sometimes meta decks.
Listen meatbags, at least you guys can heal from injuries and broken bones. It just takes one bad patch to completely brick one of my core components.
Don't give us any ideas, Collie.
Well met.
Carpolo Loncaro became a tier 2 member.
Hey, thank you so much, Carpolo. Appreciate the tier 2. Really had quite a few new members today. Oh my god, they pressed a button. Look at that.
Share your thoughts with the class now.
Okay, this explains why they didn't play any cards. All of them are battle cries that require Murlocs to be on board.
This is not what we stood for.
This feels better than just playing the Maw there. Lurgle would be a bummer. Turn 2 lethal. I'm looking forward to the turn set, or the turn 2 lethals when the mini set comes out. There've been like a singular card that appears remotely good for aggro. Wait, I only healed for 1. Oh no.
Error 404, joke not found. Recalibrating.
The 404th joke is my favorite though, so thank you, Constance. I was not paying enough attention there. Is a potential test subject combo? I haven't seen the priest cards yet. Oh no. That's not going to make it, right? Yeah, but like that's something that will probably get immediately banned. Like that card cannot be printed as is in a way.
There is little time.
I am in danger. Alright. Maybe one day we won't get an aggro deck. Yeah? Okay, maybe we can make it past turn 3.
My beloved Tyrann.
My dear Malfurion.
I thought the point of non-meta decks was to have more fun playing them. I mean, it is, but like the meta game does not allow for fun right now in any capacity, unfortunately.
I see you've brought guests.
Okay. Just need a 4-drop now.
Side effects? No.
Pardon me?
Trust me.
Reno Druid? Maybe we can get a... Wait, it's aggro?
The future is
Find
clear.
out.
Your demise be near.
That's undead.
More souls.
Job's done.
This looks fishy. Is this the rogue deck again?
Hey, cattle. I'm a try to rest, so don't anger wrong.
Thanks, Constance. Enjoy your nap. This is probably better than getting value off of the Vizier.
I cannot.
Chat, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I think it's a rogue. Roffle is banned? Not yet. Oh wait, would this count?
Who here can spell Zinjari?
Seems like a purifier deck. So yeah, I think I am banned. Don't talk for 10 minutes. That's not going to be great content. So you can just scream rigged in chat or something. I don't care. Are you undead? No. Why not?
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Can't put Cathedral in. Is Cathedral a legendary card?
I will bind you.
I realize that might be a tough one to answer, but I'll give you some time on it.
What's this one do?
Hey Roffle, long-time viewer, just glad to see you surpassed MrBeast as the #1 YouTuber on YouTube, and I mean it makes sense with you giving out all these free super chats. You're the new MrBeast.
Oh my god. Convoke the spirits. Oh my god, this is chaos. Thank you, Isaac, for the super chat and kind words in my unending quest to usurp MrBeast. Okay, so that probably should die, right? I just need cards out of hand now because of the dude process. That was pretty sweet. so far.
My hand is too full.
Finally got a fun opponent. You're better off crafting the opponent's deck than Roffle's? I wouldn't go that far. What happens when I win this game? Are you gonna eat crow?
Pick me! Pick me!
Wait, do they even get to choose on that? Nope. Is this a fair druid? I mean, even though druid is unfair, it's still very, very bad in the current metagame, so it's, again, kind of a weird time to complain about druid when it's on the struggle bus at the moment because of all the aggro. There are more pressing matters, I guess is the point I'm making. Look, I shouldn't draw here, but like the thing is I want to. And I also don't really have great plays that don't involve drawing cards, so.
Retard those who set themselves against me. For the Alliance!
It let me chat, but I've yet to see any soup.
Yeah, we're still, it's still like simmering on the stove. We'll get you that soup in no time. Thank you, Aaron.
The more you struggle,
This druid doesn't even have unlimited mana? I mean, you say that, but they don't have unlimited mana yet.
No, trust me.
Pinch of death cup. Heal of
Oh
soup.
god. Wait, what happened? What did I miss? That how do they have that in their? Oh right, they shuffled it with the. They shuffled the Sunwell cards in. I apologize. Oh, that would have been helpful here. That one, not so much. What's it even? Zombies with rush.
What is a loon's will?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm 7 moves ahead of you.
Seems like a pretty big high roll if they shuffled a lot of spells into their deck, you know? 5 of the Alliance. Got him.
Can I get a cheeseburger no cheese, with extra cheese?
I don't know how to do that. Nobody knows how to do that! Thank you for the super chat, though. Jeez. Did they pare down their hands so that only the tip of the scales is in there? Maybe they'll buy the Ascended.
My hand is full.
Nope, no Cthulhu in this game.
Surprising error.
The light has betrayed me.
Are you the authorized executor of Alun's will? No, I'm the authorized executioner of her will. Slight difference, but important to make. Oh, there's the gut.
I have things you never knew you wanted.
Oof. That due process has kind of been pretty annoying, hasn't it?
I figured since you beat you opened a burger chain too.
Yeah, we'll have to work on a Roffle burger at some point, right? Although I haven't heard the best things about Mr. Beast Burger and like how cooked it is. But maybe that's not the best model to start with. A head and fatigue, always a head and fatigue.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
Good, I got a sprint. There was no consistency with the Mr. Beast Burger. Yeah, because I think they're just like opening them up in
Wanted
ghost
to
kitchens.
say love when chat is smart in dumb ways.
Well, thank you, Constance. Oh, I see. I understand now. Yes, that's one of my favorite things as well. Wait, did they just shuffle them straight to the top, or? Oh no, because they shuffled so many. Of course, they did actually just shuffle them straight to the top. Kinda needed this Brann for the Astalor. Wait, am I actually losing this game?
Upon the sands.
Hello Roffle. I have a question. What is a cow that is written in history? I'd say legend, wait for it dairy.
Break upon the sands.
Oh, thank you, G dude. Okay, that can't be good for them. How many more are even in there? Okay, this seems terrifying. Okay. No, that's what I was scared of. My god. I need like a poison seed. There's something here, right? Draw, draw, draw. Ow. Oh, that would have been helpful.
Good morning from Australia, Roffle. Thanks for the super chat and my weekly free money.
I don't have the capacity to
You should
dispute
make
that
an
right
egg
now.
tech and only speak in egg puns while playing it.
That's an excellent idea.
Roffle, I have a song stuck in my head, but I can't think of the title. It goes like this. Ooh bop ding ding da ding boppity ding ding.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I don't know how you could ever forget a song with such a great melody.
Job's done.
Thank you, Matt, Isaac, and Brandon for the super chats. Oh my god, they've got more spell damage now. Are we dead? I think they might be dead. Oh! I was wrong. Illucia Poison Seeds, you do not understand the opponent's deck or have not been watching if you think that that is at all a possibility. They don't have removal. There's they don't have removal, chat. What are you thinking? They're a spiteful deck. What removal would I search for?
Taranda versus Anduin.
At least it wasn't aggro. Yeah, it was a fun game.
Your path
But chat's suggestions for plays are the reason why I don't like backseating. They had it? Well, then you are an idiot. Surely it's the mirror match, right? The leftmost card was kept. That's got to count for something.
I see you've brought guests. The legions I command.
Huh? Oh. That makes me sad. Wait. Oh. Does that mean it's Boar? That's also bad for me.
The back seat of the clown car is full of games.
Dishonor yourself.
It truly is. It truly is. It's all like, unfortunately, all of those gamers still find a way to cram themselves into my chat. That's a card that they are running. Card that they're running. Kind of need to find an answer to this, right? So I need more cards. Did not find an answer to it yet. Major Domo in this, sometimes.
It's not about winning Roffle, it's about sending a message like this one. It's green.
It is green. Thank you, Isaac, for the super chat. And for sending a message.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Why? Wait, that was main deck. Okay, maybe there's some hope in here after all.
take.
Job's done.
Has anyone asked to swap the bennies yet?
The bennies? I don't think we have any bennies in this deck. Which must mean it's a Benny or D's Nuts joke. Benny D's Nuts? Got him. Okay, Zeph is helpful. As is the Behemoth.
What a delightful party.
What?
Sorry, new song. I am having trouble remembering. It goes dwop dwop shabang bop bop chickadee China the Chinese chicken.
I think that's the Bare Naked Ladies.
What knowledge do the stars
Thank you, Brandon.
provide?
What secrets will uncover?
Your wish is my suggestion.
As in swap Shadow Benny for Archbishop Benny.
I don't think I have Shadow Benny, do I? I wouldn't be able to make that swap. But thank you, Jordan, for the super chat again.
Feeble prawns! You will be beneath the endless tide!
Hey guys, it's a priest.
It is indeed a priest. Thank you, Isaac. Sure.
As Archbishop Benzodiazepine.
Thank you, Carl. Wow. Wow. No.
Job's done.
Blood contagion.
I taste fear.
Seems good.
Priest D's nuts.
Haha, got him! Nicely done. Thank you, Isaac.
Thanks for entertaining us daily with no regards to your loss of sanity. Love to see some pay to lose priest.
You know, I do have some regard for my loss of sanity, just to be clear. But thank you, Firebird, for the super chat. I'm trying to think about whether I want to bop this and then Shadow Madness it, but that's really only good if I hit, like, exactly a, Neptulon, right? But it's also pretty bad if they bump and get a Neptulon, you know? They do have a lot of other minions in their deck, it seems, so we'll see.
I realize now that I was bamboozled by the prince.
That makes sense. We did, I think, generate him once, and he honestly wouldn't even be that bad in our deck just because of, like the, wait, is that okay? Just because he's a vanilla 5/6, you know? Okay. I'm 1 damage off at the moment. Unless there's a way to get a silence effect. I don't know. Playing the Lorthamar looks fun to me.
I wonder.
For a master tactician, this is nothing.
I mean, the res pool is kind of all over the place, right?
Wait, are these still free? I don't remember.
You and me both. You and me both. Oh, are we still gonna lose this? That would be a huge bummer. I think we are. There's one extraordinarily bad outcome here.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
Oh, they're all bad outcomes. I lose. Oh my god, they threw! Ugh. Oh, that was so frustrating.
Definitely still free.
That's just not true, but thank you, Alistair. How could you have missed that lethal? How could you have built your deck that way?
Neptulon, he feels like a raid boss where you have to target his hands first, but then Big Priest had to ruin him.
Yeah, Big Priest does do that. Thank you, Isaac.
Lady Vash.
10,000 years, and still you annoy me.
Your path has brought you here.
They definitely, yeah, they still had lethal. It didn't even matter. There's no point in playing it out, and I had no way to remove that over the course of the turns it would take to win that. Minions died and they still got the Neptulon? Yeah, they had very, very, very low, or not low odds, but they didn't have high odds of hitting the Neptulon because they built their deck so poorly. Deck swap? No!
Is loss of sanity covered by insurance?
As long as you retain your good manners, yeah. Thank you, Constance. Also, unless you're in America, in which case nothing is covered. Yeah, welcome in.
I love Control Priest, but I'm tired of keeping up with Standard. Is there a wild version that even slightly works? Reno? Quest? Combo finish?
Yeah, Reno Shadow or Reno Questline are both as close to good of a Reno deck as you can get right now, but they're not super strong. But if you're looking for that type of deck, that would be your best bet. Does America have a word for free healthcare? Yeah. True American patriots call that communism, brother. That's why instead of going to the hospital, we just die. Like a true patriot. Called GoFundMe, yeah. Yeah, if you want to get healthcare, you just have to build up enough clout first. I mean, no hospital can say no if you just walk into the emergency room, just don't pay the bill and walk out. Pog? Yeah. Truly, truly a game plan with no consequences whatsoever.
I will break your body.
Well, I have to go now, so buy a Ferrari on me, vroom 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 vroom, wana diddy diddy vroom.
Thank you, Isaac, for the very generous super chat. I don't think that's quite how much Ferraris cost, but still very generous.
Our version of free healthcare is called death.
It's true. It's true, but wait until you find out how much a funeral costs, though. Thank you, Curran, for the tier 2. Sorry, I think I missed it.
Our Hearthstone.
That's right, comrade. Thank you, Alistair. Oh, I'm still dead.
It is finished. You win.
Alright, give me one moment. I will be right back, but don't go anywhere or I will sue you. BRB.
Tyrande versus Valeera.
Shall we dance? Your path has brought you here. I forgot my water.
Hey guys, just got back from the bathroom. Why is there a lawsuit on my desk? It's addressed to little piss boy.
I see you've brought
Oh god, it's another set of pirate rogues. Alright, BRB.
Why, hello.
Never bring a sword to a fish fight. Never bring a sword to a fish fight.
Wow, GG.
Oh. Wait, they won the game.
It is finished. You win.
Kali and Constance, thank you for the super chats. Sorry, I was gone. I am not sorry to the opponent, though. I'm very tired of Pirate Rogue today. I've had it up to here. You can't even see where I'm raising my hand up to. It's so high. Oh good. Now we can move on to even shamans. Although we've been seeing a lot of Murloc shamans too. Still bots, but
has brought you here.
Slightly less annoying, I guess. Yeah, welcome, Sean.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
I see you've brought guests.
So far we've seen 0 Shadowwalk Shamans in 3 hours, so it's just even Shaman bots and Murloc Shaman bots and Pirate Rogue bots. It's very frustrating to not be able to queue into human players. And then there are the disco locks. Welcome, nerd.
Your path has brought you here.
I mean, I've got a curve, right? What fun decks have we played against? We played against a few, but it's like, it's been legitimately maybe 4 fun decks in 31 games. I've said many times why I don't play casual.
The legions I command. I see you've brought guests.
Up to an amputated hand, Captain Hook cosplay soon.
Yeah, see? I can lose my whole arm too. Oh good, we've lost the game already. GG. It's casual wild just bots? Nope. It is a lot of meta decks though, when you play at the MMR that I play at. And on top of that, it does not make for good content because people are already dismissive and accuse me of staging games in ranked play where that's impossible to do. So, people complain that I don't play against high enough ranked opponents already. So it's like, it's just not good content. Good God.
It is finished.
I don't really need to sit there and wait for them to win the game on turn 6. A small child could play Disco Lock. You don't need to rope out turn 2. Diamond 5 meta is hell. Yeah, it certainly feels like it. It doesn't help that like there's like almost every single, I think maybe one of these 8 pirate rogues
has brought you here.
Was not a bot. Like it's just been an outrageous week. It's just all pirate rogue bots at this rank and it's really miserable. People think you stage games. They sure do. They also screech at me for queuing into silver players when I'm legend, when I queue into diamond players, so. You aren't always working with the smartest people. When it comes to YouTube comments.
I see you've brought guests. The legions I command.
If one more person asks me to change decks, I might just end the stream.
Look! You shinies! Strength withers!
At least they have a bad opener. You got it. Easiest ban bait of my life. You're welcome, Bob. APM Priest is back, thanks to Nax out. Hopefully not. That looks horrendously... That seems like the sole thing that could make the metagame worse than it is right now. So I really hope that they take a proactive approach to it.
Look! You shinies!
Does the discover tech from suspicious cards still break bots? As far as I know. I mean, I haven't tried it since I accidentally did it. Guys, I beg you to find a better way to ask that question than has he won yet? You just got to think about like the implication of the way that you're phrasing it that way.
Hey chat, have you tried thinking for a change?
It's not that hard to like. Thank you, Constance. It's not like difficult to think about how phrasing something from a negative way when somebody is losing games is a frustrating thing to do. We do overdraw whatever we get here, so this seems bad.
My hand is full.
I think they need to rethink their philosophy regarding mana cheat. It's everywhere these days and makes the game toxic. They have cheated 2 mana. Yeah. There are many problems in the wild format. Mana cheat is one of them. But most of the best decks in the format are aggro decks that are cheating very few mana crystals. Yeah, I'm just gonna go next. This is taking painfully long. Greetings, what is the number of games where you have achieved victory over our opponent? See, that's, again, coming from a more positive perspective. That is a way that, like, is less frustrating to phrase that question. Even with, like, the flowery language is not necessary. But I do appreciate it.
Unity, precision, primitive.
You have to say it with a British accent? Nobody wants to hear me do that. There are a lot of very strong cards for aggro right now. Yeah, like one of the primary issues with Wild isn't like individual or singularly broken cards. It's decks just hit like critical mass in terms of like synergies. Like Swordfish, yes, standalone is a very good card, but the reason it's not played in Standard is it doesn't have things like Shiny Finder to reliably hit it. It doesn't have patches to pull from your deck. It doesn't have the abundance of powerful pirates that exist in Wild. So it's like, as a singular card, it's clearly not very strong. It's when you add it to the context of Wild that it becomes, you know, an outlier. So, like, again, it's very rarely the case where a singular card is carrying a deck. As much as people like to distill it down to something simple like that. No, 0 mana 3/3s in Wild, or in Standard, yeah. It's also a big component of it as well. Is there a world where I can survive the turn by not playing the Reno? Because Reno seems kind of bad right now. I don't think there is.
We're gonna be rich.
So I need to hope that I find a clear off of the Primoglyph next turn, I guess. Not burning this card. Okay. Buffer Fist after Weapon Swing Pog, yeah, again, so far, like, I think 8 or 9 out of 10 of the Pirate Rogues that we faced have been very clearly bots. That's, like, another big problem. It also says a lot about the deck itself that, like, it doesn't even require a brain to pilot. Primo into Seance? I mean, I don't even need the... Like, I already have the Zola in hand. Which is live next turn with the Heart of Cthulhu, so it's not a necessary thing to do. The point of the Primo, and considering the Primo, is that Reno isn't even that good here. It doesn't even require a well-programmed bot to pilot. Yeah, because, like, the thing to think about is the bot games, there are far, far more bot games that you don't... Oh my god, this is miserable. I just want to play Hearthstone against a human that actually finishes out the game. Like, there's no point in even sticking around here, so... We could win this, but it just doesn't matter. My goal is not to win games against an opponent that can't even finish a turn.
Roffle, do you know if there are any mid-range decks that beat up the meta aggro decks and reliably can face up against Secret Mage?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a mid-range deck, but the closest would be a, I can't do this anymore, man. It would be even Death Knight. I just want to play against a human.
Ah, I see you've brought chaos. The legions I
command. Thank you though, Alistair, for the super chat. I think that a deck that beats aggro and Secret Mage, your best bet is probably even Death Knight. Coin Cannon, or Coin Double Pirate. Where have I seen this before?
Quickly.
This is just my hell.
You win.
Please just give me some amount of variety. Yeah, Classic is rampant with bots, and sure. You get a brief break from the bots to play against Secret Mage.
Your path has brought you here.
Oh god, how do your opponents take so long on their turn? Well, that was because it was not a human, is why. Quest? No, it's never Quest Mage at this rank. That deck gets bodied by robots.
The legions I command.
Okay. That's good at least. This is, it's rough right now in Wild. I don't know what to do.
An incredible discovery.
The time has come.
What do people even gain from botting this game? They sell accounts, I think, is part of it. A legend card back because Pirate Rogue and even Shaman are so strong they eventually get to legend through bots. I don't know.
I'm with the cabal.
I'm not looking for suggestions when I say I don't know what to do. Because everything that you could think to suggest, somebody has already suggested, and I have already thought of. The tempo of a 2-1 is so little? Yeah, but it's more than nothing. But you don't hold a lackey just because you don't have a secret in hand. You play the 2-1 every time.
We're going on a dangerous voyage. You in?
Especially on turn 1, like it's not even a thought, you just play the 2-1.
It'll be our little secret.
Your signature is required.
We hunger for vengeance.
My blade.
Alright, objections are gone.
Chat doesn't count what a rhetorical question is.
They certainly don't, but thank you, Constance, for the super chat. It's also just like, I don't know. I forget sometimes that it's a really bad idea to vent live for a variety of reasons, so just need to do a better job of not getting as frustrated.
What's troubling you?
I don't know if there's ever a situation where you would hold back the 2-1 on turn 1. Yeah. Legitimately, I don't either, unless maybe you're on the coin and you have a 2-drop that you'd rather play, if you have 2 2s. GG.
It is finished.
I needed to hit one of the big ones. Like, everyone talks about how easy a deck Secret Mage is, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but then I read like some of the backseating of my opponents that happen in chat, and I'm just like, oh my god, maybe it's harder than I'm giving it credit for, because especially like people especially just want to throw every single point of damage face.
Versus Mecha Jaraxxus!
You face
Simon, thank you for this tier 2 for 2 months. I'm not sure why that's not playing, but I need to look at why my alerts aren't working for renewed memberships. Well, thank you so much for the 2 months. It's definitely possible to play Secret Mage poorly. No, absolutely it is. Like, I mean, we've seen it and heard it from chat. Oh my God! Finally.
Question unquote.
What? What? What is a quote question unquote? I don't know. We'll probably never know the answer to that. Surely this will be a fun matchup, right?
Jade Serpent Guide.
Don't let me down this time, surely.
Time for a little pick-me-up. Roffle, you are a gorgeous man with a chiseled face that rivals Henry Cavill. Thanks for the eye candy.
Thank you for the super chat, Brandon. I think it's a little too generous, maybe, but appreciate the kind words. Oh, let's overdraw them here.
Job's done. Impressive.
Yeah. Your move.
My hand is full.
Oh, that's a good burn. Imagine being that terrified of Cho. Couldn't be me.
I do say, I seem to have lost the surface.
Error.
What was the oopsie that they did? Do they have a Sunwell in their deck? They're a Reno deck, and they turned off Reno with that? Oof. Speaking of. Uh-oh. I'm overdrawing again. My God, I cannot stop. Here, let's take the Reno, just so that we have it. Oh God. It is Reno. Okay.
Is this opponent a bot? They look like one.
It's one of those new dual minion type bots. It's both a robot and a demon. Oh my God. Brutal.
Accept your fate.
Well met.
Threep became a tier 2 member.
I appreciate that, Threep. Thank you for the tier 2. I mean, their Zeph is offline. Okay.
Surrender your will.
Play the yellow card here. Hey, Roffle, do you have thoughts? Precious few. after so many years of streaming. That's the Zeph card. Can only heal for one. No, wait. I mean, is truly the perfect card? Was the perfect card.
More bones to gnaw on.
Okay. Okay, that's actually good to have.
The scourge will wash over this world as a swarm of death and destruction.
Alright. Can I offer anyone an Ascended in these trying times? Would you like to buy one, perchance? Oh, dear God. Wait a minute. I think this gives us both a Marrowgar, though. Let's find out. Still probably worth though. Is that good? What was the meaning of that? Yeah. That seems strange. Nice.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
I'm 1 damage off right now. This is as good a time as I need to oof. Their Reno is offline, right? You said it. Alright.
Your wish is my
I mean, that's not active anyway.
We're gonna be rich.
Neither is that. Oh, double failure on the Reno.
Tyrande versus Khadgar.
Behold the magic of death.
Your path has brought you here.
And back to the maze. That was fun. Yeah, we are averaging one fun matchup maybe every like 45 minutes or so. So we just need to like push through the 40 to 45 minutes of pure hell until we get those fun matchups.
I see you've brought guests.
You're not ready for this.
If you dishonor me, you dishonor yourself.
At least they accidentally ended up with Renathal in their deck, so. Why would you coin a 2 if you don't have another one? Alright. Card is in your opponent's starting hand. They full mold, so it could literally be any of these. It's definitely not the ballet, so it's one of these two. Okay.
Job done.
Finally got one wrong. Unlucky. Yeah.
They're going on a dangerous voyage. You win.
Really wish that I hadn't been baited by that. Yeah. I'm entirely expecting that to work, but it did.
Your signature is required.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
I cannot count how many times Kazakus has been objected to today. I think almost every single time I've been hit by an objection, I think it's been a Kazakus, it feels like. Look, I gotta use all my mana here, right? Wait, not active. Oh no! Oh, there's a behemoth at the bottom of my deck.
It is finished. You win.
Thanks, Faelin.
Tyrande versus Morgul.
Your path has brought you here.
More like fail, enemy right?
Oh, you are, but Brian's wrong. Thank you, Colin, for the super chat. Alright, surely this... Oh! That was theirs! Oh my god, we've done it. It's truly, truly the mirror match, right?
I see you've brought I see you've brought guests. The legions I command.
We've tested it frequently over the like 5 or so years that I've been streaming. Malchezaar does not shuffle duplicates into your deck, but Faelin can. I've been playing decks like this for nearly as long as I've been streaming, and Malchezaar has never turned off a Reno.
Oh, it's about to get windy out here.
If you dishonor me, you dishonor
That's actually kind of spooky, though. There's nothing I can do with that Bolner.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Jeez.
What's yours?
Match is going to be very RNG based. No, I think the opponent's just probably going to win because it's less likely that they're running all legendaries. Well, and kind of in a bad spot already.
Job done.
Yeah. This seemed likely. No taunt, please. Nice.
Unity, precision, primitive. I see you.
Spells? Who plays those?
Rest easy, child. You are safe now.
Who knows what secrets will
Who
unveil?
here can spell Zinjari? Anybody?
Decent poker hand you got there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and raise. Thank you, Constance.
Pick me! Pick me!
No taunts. God. Where are they pointing? Bird. And ancestral healing or whatever. That's cool.
For a master tactic, this is nothing.
Job's done.
This is not what we stood for.
Oh, that's what they keep pointing. Alright. For an undead. Undead seems highly, highly unreliable, doesn't it? Sure. Alright, it hits the school teacher every time. Okay. Kragg knows the place.
Pick me! Pick me!
Now that's what I call value.
Insanity is no excuse for bad manners.
I don't really have great cards in hand. I'd already drawn the things off of the variant anyway, so I think we're fine here. Just what we needed. Wait, is it actually though?
Jade Serpent guide you.
Zeph's offline because of the birds, but still worth grabbing just in case I top deck a bird eventually.
Accept your fate.
Job's done.
That's a thick boy. Lorewalker Cho.
I see.
Fantastic.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
This just seems kind of good still.
Accept your fate.
Weakness.
Did they mulligan the quest or something? Why is there a tour guide in there?
We do what the living cannot.
Fantastic. I do love me a good Bandersmosh.
Who here?
And a bad Bandersmosh for that matter.
Anybody?
The secret is that there are no bad Bandersmoshes. Thanks, Joe. Oof. Seems like it would have been pretty good.
We do what the living cannot.
Uh-oh.
Lorewalker Chosen 1.
Thank you, Constant. What do I want to do here?
What is a loon's will?
Kind of need to...
I wonder.
This is not what
Okay, quest progress. Pray we survive the turn. I do have some healing, but I would like to get more minions on. I need a taunt. Nope. Wait! They missed lethal. Right?
This jungle hides many secrets.
Saved?
What is Elune's will?
I go to 6 and clear everything but whatever comes out of this.
Remember this day, for you are graced with my presence.
I need to make sure that this hits like this.
Behold the glory of a true son!
When will you make a budget version? When somebody in chat comes up with a unique joke, so I wouldn't count on it, unfortunately.
I taste. Your wish is my suggestion.
Accept your fate!
I need to develop something here. Welcome, Bruno. They've generated a lot of these.
How do you catch
medals.
a unique rabbit? Unique upon him.
Thank you, Kali.
Look at me. Accept your fate!
Your wish is my suggestion.
Tempo King.
I will break your body.
I'm sorry, Elise.
Alakazam! We do what the living cannot.
That's gonna be a bit of a problem. Okay. Hail Mary time. Loatheb earlier. Can't be this. It can't be this, it's this? Oh, off of the Elise pack. So we know it's Artoot.
Check your face!
Is there any way we survive this? We don't have great attacks into the Artoot defender. I need like a Deathwing or something.
Ash to ash.
Maybe Behemoth can. By me turn. Look at that, chat. We finally completed the quest line. Are you proud of me?
Job done.
Let's see if they see this lethal. Yeah, welcome, White. I think they see it this time. Hold on, does that mean we got back-to-back fun games? What was our last matchup? That could be unheard of. Oh no, never mind. We had a secret mage in the middle.